We ask the farmer to say something on behalf of this organization.
We'd like to congratulate them as the Guyanese.
Yes.
We welcome every form of assistance, and they're very welcome to Guyana. But you know, sometimes we need to put things in context.
Okay.
And I want to raise a particular matter
Yes.
against this background of people coming to help.
Yes.
I listened to my friends before,
Yes.
and what is clear that society will not derive optimum benefit from all of these things and initiatives unless it is anchored on the three pillars to make a society viable and truly democratic. One, the parliament; two, the executive; and three, judiciary.
Okay.
It's clear the latter is not functioning as it should. And there's a very bad case with the New Building Society that I would like to bring to the public's attention. Since 2007, certain persons were capriciously dismissed at the instance of we know who.
Yeah. You have to mention.
They appealed in
Yes.
2010.
Yes.
This is 2018, and the matter has not yet been resolved.
Okay.
One of the great prime ministers of England, Great Britain, William Ewart Gladstone, in the 19th century articulated something which has had universal currency.
Yes.
That is, justice delayed is justice denied.
That's right.
If people can't get redress in a timely manner, the whole society becomes dysfunctional.
Okay.
And you lead the way for anarchy
Okay.
and absolute nonsense.
Yes.
So as we welcome these friends,
Yes.
we need to get the public to raise their voice, and this is a very powerful station. You've been doing
Yes.
a monumental job for years
Yes.
on this new building society matter.
Yes.
You've had three decent Guyanese who are out in the cold for over 10 years. Well, it's more than 10 years, since
Yes.
2007. And I think it is something that I would like to persuade all of those writers in the papers,
Yes.
all those so-called public activists,
Yes.
to deal with this matter. It is absurd, it is obscene, it is unbelievable.
So what have the position with this matter?
Oh, there were three.
Well, it is consistently being put off
Yes.
at the behest of the
Yeah.
judiciary.
Okay.
And I believe the time has come when the executive, even
Yes.
though we don't want to interfere
Yes.
with the judiciary,
Yes.
should
Yes.
make a pronouncement
Yes.
and
Yes.
urge the
Yes.
public to come on board, because all of these things we're talking about will be useless, almost meaningless, unless our judiciary is effective, efficient, and produces justice for all, if I may use the phrase of your station.
Call you in here. Hello? Hello?
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
I just want to comment on what the former mayor, Mr. Hannah Green, just said about the NBS matter.
Yes.
I think there isn't
Yeah.
a single person who would disagree with him that
Yes.
justice delayed is justice
Yes.
denied.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, you would have all read media reports that in 2007, the CEO and two managers were charged.
Okay, I know
Yes.
that.
Not a shred of evidence came out. I'll be as thick as possible.
Yes.
Not a shred of evidence what came out on these men, yet it lasted 4.5 years,
Okay. That's true.
right? The Ombudsman brought out that the Bank of Guyana had done an investigation and a report shortly after, and this report was docked. The Ombudsman asked for the case to be reopened, right? One of the reasons for the case to be reopened is that all the persons, the perpetrators involved, they are not all under his jurisdiction. So reopening the case, right?
Okay.
You were able to get the other persons involved
Yes.
who did this to the three men.
Yes.
Up to now, the Ombudsman report was sent to Parliament 4 years ago, or just over 3 years ago. It has not been
I
addressed.
know the whole story.
Mr. Arjun
Yes.
sued, I won't be long, Mr.
No,
Chairman.
you go ahead. Go ahead, please. Go
Arjun
ahead.
sued NBS.
Yes.
Amazingly, that case lasted 6 long years.
Yes, right.
The judge, nothing came out of any wrongdoing that he did, right? The member was repaid. What came out in court is that the member was repaid by the board, although no fraud proven. All systems and procedures met. The judge ruled in Mr. Arjun's favor and awarded him his back pension with interest as well as severance and outstanding salaries due. No damages. But Mr. Arjun needs to move on. He's getting on in age. It's over 10 years. He decided to accept that. They went and they appealed that decision. Now, it went to the Court of Appeal. Justice Rishi Prasad said, pending the substantive appeal, that Mr. Arjun must be paid at least. That's what he awarded him. The $59 million is payment of 10 years pension that is due. He didn't even award future pensions, but that's irrelevant. Okay, the point is, this was done 3.5 weeks ago. NBS hasn't paid yet. Isn't that contempt of court? Now, for how long can a group of people be allowed to break the laws of a country and try to manipulate the justice system?
Thank you very much.
I would like to join Mr. Green in also calling for the public. It needs a public outcry for this matter to be investigated in detail, for the case to be reopened as the Ombudsman requested. He had a reason for doing it. And for justice to be served not only to Mr. Arjun, but to Ken Vincent, whose case has recently started. It was delayed for another month because you would see it in the media. Kisun Baldio migrated, and he did not. He couldn't follow through. But yet, why isn't he being paid legally due severance and other outstanding his pension contribution, etc.?
Mr. Green, what is summary of you in this matter?
It is beyond absurdity. And I can only ask that all decent-minded citizens, the media, all those who write about injustice, all those who knew what was wrong with the parking meters, this is something that hits at the fundamentals of our society. We're 3 Guyanese who did nothing wrong, have been persecuted. And it's something that I am concerned that all those soothsayers, all those people who talk, have been silent on this issue. I repeat what I said at the beginning. If your judiciary malfunctions for whatever reason, the whole system of democracy becomes a sham. And this is a classic case. You imagine something going on for over 10 years and you can't get justice? This is what Prime Minister Gladstone said when we talk about reform in England. When we expand the franchise, he made the comment that you cannot have a society that functions effectively unless you get justice. People can look to the judiciary for some kind of recompense and justice.
What can be done after this?
What can be done?
I would hope that those people listening, the editors of all the media, this station must carry on the campaign. Make it a campaign. Make it a crusade. This has nothing to do with Arjun and Vincent and the others. This has to do with common justice.
We need to
One last thing, Mr. Sharma. Thank you so very, very much, Mr. Green. You are so right.
Thank you very much.
Now, I recall the former Minister Gail Teixeira, she was shouting to the public, you cannot take away pension rights. Why doesn't she ask, why is Mr. Arjun pension rights has been taken away for 10 years? No benefits, no pension. He has an impeccable 30-year record. 6 months before retirement. Secondly, if an ombudsman, that is one of the highest positions in this country, after a 9-month investigation, discovered that the DPP deliberately, maliciously, wrongfully charged the 3 top officers of the 3rd largest financial institution. Why is the DPP still there and there has been no investigation? Why are the other perpetrators? When the members of NBS called for a special meeting in September 2007, right?
Okay.
They were going to vote. The meeting was adjourned.
Okay.
And next thing you know what? An amendment was made to the NBS Act to make it impossible for members to ever call a special meeting in case of wrongdoing. And this is a financial institution.
Honestly, you know all the
This
facts
thing
and matter.
it's something.
She is, she's very right.
Yes.
I know what is irksome about this.
Yes.
You have in our society people who have committed criminal things,
Yes.
the previous government and others, and they're still walking free. And these, to the best of my knowledge,
Yes.
these are 3 decent Guyanese.
Yes. Yes.
All they sought to do
Yes.
was to carry out the law of the institution that they belong to, and they were not prepared to be pressured by political and other forces to do something that's clearly wrong and to compromise
So how long is
the finances of the people.
How long was Sarge when the kids was dealing? How many years?
2007.
Okay.
I
That's
mean,
what
the
years now.
thing is almost beyond belief.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that this media, perhaps the 3 gentlemen should call a press conference,
Yes.
get the editors involved, and make this a crusade.
Yes.
Because this might be the tip of the iceberg.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You see,
Yes.
the present government is doing its best in the circumstances. But the president himself is a very proper person. And he has not, as far as I know, interfered with the judiciary, nor the parliament as such. We have a situation on our hands where the ombudsman
Yes. Yes.
was
Yes.
established years ago
Yes.
as the institution
Yes.
to deal with persons who perceive or believe that some injustice has been done to them. That ombudsman report, as far as I know, should be held sacrosanct.
Yes.
And
Yes.
the government, the judiciary should respect it. I don't know why this is still happening.
What's the similar situation with Freddie Kissoon? I think a judgment was handed down in his favor
Yes.
regarding his tenure at UG.
Yeah.
And he got to get some back pay to or some overtime.
Something is very wrong.
So Freddie Kissoon has also got a case that is bubbling that needs redress also.
Something is, and I hope all those who write will talk about this.
So there's so many cases out there. I've got a case with my brother who died in 2011.
Yes.
This is 2018 now, and what is going on? I mean, it is still the procedural matters. They're still dealing with, instead of getting into the substantive issue, there's this delay. And we need to have some reform in the judiciary so things can be
I
handled.
have a case where I have a personal matter, I don't want to raise it,
Okay.
where the judge simply ignored the case, put the case back, end of story.
Okay.
No reason given. Something's wrong with our judiciary. Very, very wrong.
How can we solve it?
Look at my case, my matter.
Exactly.
With the TV station. 10 years, it take 10 years.
We have to
20
raise,
20 years, 20 years.
we have to raise the
20 years,
ante,
20 years.
get civil society involved, whatever's left
Yeah,
of it,
20 years.
and say this
Okay.
is enough.
Okay. Enough is enough.
My closing remarks, let's start a campaign, a crusade
Yes.
for justice.
Okay.
Justice delayed is
Justice
justice
for all.
denied. Justice for all.
Okay.
And I think we should emancipate the
Yes,
concept you
yes.
talked about years ago.
Yes.
Justice for all.
Yes.
On the City Hall,
Yeah.
remember, since 1994, the IMC recognized the city is not collecting enough revenue to do its work. And the time has come for the government, citizens, and the council to sit down in caucus and decide the way forward. You cannot manage a city with the present tax basis.
Yeah.
That's the bottom
Mr. Green,
line.
thank you for coming.
Anytime.
Razat, thank you for coming.
All right.
Thank you.
Sangi, thank you for coming.
And the word is also unite.
Yes, yes.
Unite for the betterment of Guyana.
Abanese,
Yeah.
God bless you.
Yes, unite.
Thank you for much.
One love.
One love.